Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the balloting process and give you a visual context for what the committee sees as they review each deliverable. So the way it works is that everyone turns in all of their final materials into Blackboard, and I collect all of those, download, and kind of package them into a filing system that I've created. And I go into the WSU Qualtrics that we have set up, and I create individual surveys for each student so that the committee members, can go through each of the student materials and provide their assessment along the way. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here is Qualtrics, and just to kind of give you a starting point for reference, I have my projects, and in that I have a folder system over here. So I will create a special folder for the current semester. So in this case, I'm showing you spring 2016. You can see there's 19 different surveys in there. So here are the names of each of the students. I give it a title with the capstone assessment. And this is where I can track responses and the last response, and I can view reports. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I created a new survey that just has student names, so you can see in brackets where your name would be placed, the name of your committee members, the review deadline, week, month, date, and time. And you can also see that there is a mobile version as well as a desktop version, so the committee members can actually do this assessment kind of wherever they're at. Okay, so just looking at the desktop version to simplify things, I first create the Qualtrics survey, and I input the student name, the name of the committee members, and then the deadline. Reviewers will put their name in right here, and then they will click Next. And this is where they will now start to go in, and they're going to see, so they start with the online portfolio. I remind them of the student names. Here they are able to go out and look at the assignment description and the rubric, just as you have seen in Blackboard and your materials. I give the instructions for the reviewer. I let them know they're to verify the assignment instructions, review the rubric. They have to provide a pass-fail assessment on each of the deliverables, as well as an overall assessment of the student. In the student's work, for all three deliverables at the end. I provide them with a portfolio link that they can take and go out to the portfolio for the student. And then they can do an assessment here using the pass-fail rubric with or a pass-fail scale. And then on the left-hand side, you can see that it highlights the various aspects that they are looking for: selection of samples, use of multimedia, navigation, and so forth. Then they do an assessment based on this ranking, and note that a 1 is considered passing, FYI. So they do the assessment, pass, fail, and if they have any notes, comments, positive or constructive, they provide them here. Then they go on to the reflective essay. And so same thing, got the student name, they have a description, outline and guidance, a rubric, instructions on what to do. They also, in the rubric portion or the review portion of the essay, they're given, of course, a link to the essay file, which is a document or a PDF. They provide their ranking based on the kind of high-level rubric points here on the left. Pass-fail. They are also welcome to do a save as and sort of inline comments if they want to do that. And they can provide a document there if they want to provide additional comments, feedback, or inline notes. And again, have the option to provide feedback here. Then they move on to the final presentation. Same as before, they have a description, an outline and guidance, and rubric to refer to. They have instructions. And then the video that I record when we do the Zoom call is uploaded to YouTube in an unlisted link, meaning it's not searchable through standard organic search. You can only access it if you have the link. The name, I do a length of the presentation, if it's 20, 30, whatever, however long the presentation is. I also will give a reference file to either the PowerPoint, the emails, the Prezi URL. And then for each student, I create a custom thumbnail that has your name, your degree, a couple of employment highlights, and the reviewer is able to click right on that presentation and watch it right here in screen. They do their pass-fail assessment with the rubric points again here on the left, their pass-fail assessment of the presentation itself, and any comments. And then their last step is to go and do the overall assessment, which is as a pass-fail course in the capstone. They are asked to provide, they're given a deadline and they've got to make a decision on whether or not overall with all 3 deliverables, they feel the student has passed or failed the capstone based on that same ranking level. They pass or fail the student, any additional comments, and they say next, and it's over. So I have dates and other things in here that give them some guidelines. Okay, so just a couple of final comments. One, the reason that I do drafts in this course is so that I can limit the opportunity for anyone to fail any deliverable of this course. If a student is given a failing grade on an individual deliverable, I have built into the timeline that I will work with that student to make modifications based on the feedback by their review committee member and then resubmit. Then it will go under another review, and hopefully at that point it'll be corrected and passed on through. We've never had a student fail. We've had students who have had to redo aspects of their overall deliverables but for re-review, and then they were able to pass and move forward. So you guys are set up for success, and I expect everyone to get through it just fine. Just one note that you should aim to make your presentation about 20 minutes, the presentation itself about 20 minutes. I have had some stickiness from review committee members in the past. They really want to see things about 20 minutes, and that does not include any Q&A after the fact. And if you have not done so already, I really encourage you to go into Blackboard and look at the sample presentations so that it gives you a nice context for what to expect. Otherwise, that's about it. The balloting process, it takes just a really short time because of this culture set, and everything should go pretty smoothly. So best of luck, and I am your advocate, I am your mentor. So I'm here to help you be successful and complete your program.